And our next story is about three leaders who, even after leaving their office, continue to remain in deep trouble. I'm talking about Nicola Sturgeon, Boris Johnson, and Donald Trump. You see, all three of them are being held accountable for their actions in office. Our next report getting you the complete story.
Three former leaders, three big controversies, and three massive setbacks. This is the story of Nicola Sturgeon, Boris Johnson, and Donald Trump. All three of them are in the eye of the storm. Sturgeon was recently arrested in a finances inquiry. Boris Johnson has been forced to resign as an MP, and Donald Trump has been indicted for the second time. Their struggles may be different, but what unites them is their fate. All three were once at the helm of power. All three were then driven out of that power. And all three of them are now paying the price for abusing their power. This only shows how the business of being in the top office is not just hard while you're there, but also once you leave. Let's start with Nicola Sturgeon, the former First Minister of Scotland. On Sunday, she was arrested and questioned by detectives over allegations of financial misconduct by her party. The charges include spending £660,000 that were raised through a fundraiser for the personal gain of party members. The list of accused also includes Sturgeon's husband, Peter Morell. He was arrested in April, but released without a charge. Sturgeon, too, was arrested and later released without charges, but observers say she's still not out of trouble. Next, we have Boris Johnson, the former Prime Minister of Britain. He has resigned from his seat in the House of Commons. Why? Because of a political witch hunt, says the former leader. You see, Johnson took the decision after seeing the findings of a probe into whether he misled the Parliament on parties held at 10 Downing Street during the lockdown. The findings are yet to be made public. The probe is yet to be concluded, but Johnson says the committee behind the probe is bent on declaring him guilty. So he's resigned to save himself the embarrassment. Observers say this could be the beginning of the end of his political career.
I think it's quite surprising that he has. I wasn't expecting it, but with everything that's happened over the past 2 to 3 years, I think it's kind of the push comes to shove. He's gone. He had no choice to leave.
I'd got to say probably that it's for the best. During the pandemic, he sort of stiffed the country over and has not been held accountable for it.
Egregiously corrupt the Biden administration.
And last but not the least, there's Donald Trump, the former US president. He has been indicted once again, this time in a classified documents probe. The charges include conspiracy, false statements, obstruction of justice, and retaining classified documents under the Espionage Act. Last we checked, he was going to appear before a federal court in Florida. The hearing will be held on Tuesday. Observers say it might just spell the end of Trump's political career.
Today we're going to make a caravan to mark the president's birthday, and besides that, to support him from today on because of the injustice that is being done to President Trump. This is simply a witch hunt because they want to take him out of the political race.
It's a bunch of, I don't want to say it, but you know what? It's just a witch hunt. It's a BS. It's a, they try to, why they're doing it now?
The magnetism of the drama swirling around the three of them, that the actions of leaders during their tenure in office do not really end with the end of the tenure. They sometimes hound them for years to come. As they say, what goes around comes around.
What's your message to the country, Mr.
Bureau
Johnson?
Report WION World is One.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.